Hey y'all, it's me, the Nosy Goddess, and we are back to get into the business of Terrence Howard. Now, I know y'all remember when Terrence Howard made those proclamations about Diddy.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind the keyboard or tucked behind editing clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusations. Because in the old world, men didn't hide behind anything. When they spoke against someone, they had to speak it with their whole being. And if you're going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face and say it like a man. If you're going to talk about the geometry, have other geometries to argue against it. If you're going to talk about the supersymmetry, speak of other supersymmetries that would work against it. If you're going to talk about the white papers, provide your own white paper as an argument to argue against the equations or the conclusions. But we're going to do this respectfully, otherwise we'll end in a duel. And I mean a duel, real life duel, where only one person walks away. We can meet with guns, bottles, knives, or books and equations. But we're going to do this like men. So, get ready. Get ready.
Now, to be fair, Terrence didn't mention any names. Now, I do want to play a couple of callers' comments that called into MREC show to say some things about Terrence Howard in his original video. And I find these things very interesting. Check it out.
Peace.
Yo, Rack, what up, God?
What's going on? Peace, God. Talk to me.
You already know what it is, man.
We got KB the one on the line.
Yo, so your man hit the screen and told us niggas out here getting they Babylonian buns ballpark. Pause. Started control.
Break the pause.
Niggas getting they Babylonian buns ballpark. Like we ain't noticed already.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me say this though. I don't believe this nigga whole story, man. I'm not believing listen. I feel like personally I'ma keep saying it. The feds is involved with all these niggas. Everything done flipped. The feds is involved. They got these niggas on the ropes. and they basically committing to their last option right now. They coming out and they saying things about people because they already tied up in these cases, man. I'm not buying. I saw some of the interview. I'm not buying niggas trying to tell me that this nigga was at a Diddy party with all that baby oil and somehow he the only one that made it out with his Babylonian buns unballpark, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Be big pause. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't care how much this nigga get on YouTube and talk about this Jedi Knight lightsabers he making in the basement with all the technology he got from all of the gods that made all the old. I'm not trying to buy none of that. This nigga is a Hollywood nigga, and he down with the Epstein crew, and they jammed all these niggas up, and now they out here talking because they all a part of cases. They tied in to somebody that ain't make it back, and other people that got things done, bodily harm, and all kinds of other wild stuff. They out here wilding, man. That's a fact. Shout out to Real Sassafras. They got they Babylonian buns ballpark, B. That's crazy. That's crazy, Rec. And he trying to act like because he out here trying to give niggas a new Pythagorean theorem and all of that, that we supposed to believe he the only nigga that made it out the party untouched. We don't believe you, kid. You need more people.
Well, let me say this now, because I didn't watch the full interview. I saw, like clips, and this is one of the clips I saw, right? Did he say, because I heard him say him and Diddy met up personally. So did he go to the Diddy parties or did he not?
He said he was in, Diddy called him. Mm-hmm. He came over there the first time to talk about a movie and script, and Diddy was just looking at him. And then he just left. Then Diddy called him back another time, and then for some music, wanted to hear some music, and then he was looking at him, and then he felt uncomfortable again, and he just left. It's mad missing parts in that story, because that ain't how everybody else said Diddy give it up. That ain't even how the cartoon said Diddy give it up. They even got Diddy wilding. That the cartoon didn't even say that. You know what I'm saying? We the drinks, we know it'd be drinks with the crunchy stuff on the inside, right? Right? Because we seen that from the cartoon. Now, allegedly, that's in the reports and all of that too. It's in the lawsuits and all that too. The drinks with the crunchy stuff, the baby oil, we know about that. He ain't mentioned none of that. He talked about other niggas that was at the Diddy party. Then said Diddy saw him dolo, but he was at a couple Diddy parties. But then he ran into Diddy dolo a couple times because Diddy called his manager. Basically, he got flued out, and all Diddy did was stare at him, and he left.
Well, one of the things I was saying in the super chat was that at this point, the information is so convoluted. We don't know who's who, and this is one of the things that the Earth prepared us for, because she talked about it. Like, some people were going to end up turning evidence in order to save their reputation. So, and we could just look at some of the people's behavior in the past throughout their career, and then all of a sudden, they're coming out so-called exposing, and they have these stories. Like, we can kind of pick up on the energy.
Correct.
When it comes to Terrence Howard, I've kind of watched his career, and I have definitely been seeing for the last couple of years, since he's been on his journey in regards to science, mathematics, and spirituality, he's definitely been catching, a lot of blowback because people were not open to the things that he was talking about. Now, whether or not he's telling the truth about him being involved, I just agree with what he said about manhood. And this is a conversation that I think would be so beneficial for women and men to have with their young sons. Like, this is deeper than a physical thing. Like, this is spiritual. And when you break it down in that aspect, a lot of these young men would look at it totally different. Because a lot of times it's just like drugs. If you really had a true education of the ramifications that are involved when you put certain things in your body or you participate in certain behaviors, and you realize like the deep spiritual that comes with that, you think twice. You're not so susceptible to the materialism of it. You can have this or you can get this reward, because he's telling it like all of these people that they got these rewards, they don't look happy, and you can see it on their face. Their spirit looks dead. They're dry. They're all of the life force energy's been sucked out of them. And see, that's the part they don't tell you. When you go and participate and make these so-called decisions, you just fell in a trap. You just tricked yourself out of your life and you didn't even realize it. So, whether he was involved or not, I mean, time may tell, it may not. But what he was speaking on in regards to manhood and integrity, it was the truth. And for me, I've learned to just take the meat and leave the bones. Because if you are who you are, that's on you. You're going to pay the price for who you are. You're going to be exposed. Your behavior eventually will possibly and probably be exposed. But one thing I learned, I went to go hear the minister speak, and one of the things he said was, the truth don't care nothing about how you feel.
Correct.
And see, that's the thing that sometimes we get caught up in. We don't like the particular messenger, so we turn down the information. Oh, I don't like him. He probably lying. If it's the truth, it's the truth, whether you like that person or not.
Correct.
So that's why I say I just take the meat and leave the bones.
Take the meat and leave the bone. Everything she said was so on point. People getting tricked out of their lives out here for fame and fortune, honey. Not worth it, because the fame and fortune comes from within. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about all this, though. Do you think Terrence Howard was telling the truth? What do you think about what these callers had to say? Child. And I wonder what Diddy is thinking about what Terrence Howard had to say about him.
A savage! Oh! I'm a savage!
So that's all I got, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. And remember, I'm also the $1 Trillion Goddess as well on YouTube. Go ahead and search me over there. That's where I go live and post blog posts every day. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.